Hi, my name is Taylar Boroff. My story kind of begins in childhood. My family's pretty religious. My dad's parents took me to church a little bit when I was a kid, but I really only went because my cousin went and I wanted to hang out with her. And I wanted to be in a youth group, but it kind of ended there. When I was in high school and college, church wasn't really a thought for me. I felt like I was saved. At that point, I knew that I believed in God and felt like I was going to go to heaven. In my mid-20s, my life really took a turn. I met some people that influenced my life in the worst way possible. Shortly after I met those people, I began using drugs. I used for a little while, thought I was fine, kind of felt like I was just living my life, and I went down a really dark path. That was probably about the time that I was invited to Lifehouse for the first time. My cousin Ashley Ferris actually invited me for the first time. And then when things got really hard, my parents' best friends, Chris and Nicole Skaggs, invited me and my parents. And again, I just came and I left and didn't think much of it. And then God kind of gave me a little saving grace. And I got pregnant with my daughter. And unfortunately, at the time, that wasn't enough for me. Shortly after she was born, I relapsed. And when I relapsed, my addiction got bad, and it got bad really fast. I lost custody of my daughter. And I knew at that point I needed to do something, but I couldn't figure it out. There was so many nights that I remember being on my knees, praying, and asking God why all these things were happening to me, because even though I knew I was making bad decisions, I didn't think I deserved anything that was happening to me. And I got angry, really angry at God. I was walking down the street in town in the middle of the night, and I felt like this wave of emotion come over me, and I instantly knew, like the thought just instantly popped into my head that it was God telling me that it was time and that I shouldn't be afraid, because I had so many people behind me and so many people supporting me, my entire family and all these family friends that we have. So I decided to go to rehab. Almost every day I was there. There was something telling me that I made the right decision and that I had no reason to be angry with God, because even at the point in my life where I was at my absolute lowest, He was still there. Even though it didn't feel like He was all the time, He was. And He stood by me the whole way and guided me right back to where I needed to be. For me, that's what forgiveness in God feels like. It's like a fresh start on life. It's Him telling me that I veered left, but it's okay, because He's going to bring me back the right direction, and that it's okay that all of these things happen to me, because as long as I'm coming back and following His path now, He's going to do everything that I need in my life for everything to be right again. He's going to guide me in the right direction. I just need to follow Him again. First, I want to thank my parents, Randy and Stephanie Boroff, because if it weren't for them, I would not be where I am today. They stepped up and did the most amazing thing that they could for me and saved my daughter from my turmoil that she didn't deserve. I also want to thank my family and my family friends that are more like family. They've always been family. Even when it felt like nobody was supporting me anymore because they couldn't be around me, they were there and they were praying for me and never stopped supporting me, even now. I also want to thank them for being there for my parents, because I know how hard all of this was for them. And my parents had an amazing support system through this entire thing. And lastly, I want to thank my boyfriend Logan and his family. They came into my life very early in recovery, when I was very vulnerable. And they didn't care that I was this young girl in recovery from this awful addiction. They didn't care. They loved me and supported me from the very second I met them. And they've always made me feel like I've always been family. I've always been part of the family. I am here today to proclaim that Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior.
Taylar, it's been my pleasure to serve with you for the last 2 years. Your story reminds me that the circle that we surround ourselves with matters, and that we're here today because somebody prayed for you, and that helps everything. So it's my honor to baptize you in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.